So what up, y'all? Sticks and Politics. Today I want to talk about the women of our society, our modern day women. What is a modern day woman? What's their attitude like? Well, your average modern day woman has grown up to believe that they are queens and that they should know their worth and they don't need a man. Why do I have a problem with this? Well, let's see here. It's quite silly to have a bunch of females who is living in a world that men built and maintained, living in a house that men built and maintained, using a network that men built and maintained, eating the food that men has butchered, slaughtered, and provided and maintained, and to sit there while they're doing all this, and while they're taking all this stuff that men has built and maintained and created, and say that they don't need it. There was an episode of, it's called The Island with Bear Grylls. They took 30 men and 30 women and put them on an island by themselves. Well, by themselves, I mean like men on one island, women on another island. And for the women's island, they actually had to go in before they dropped the women off and alter the environment to give the women a fighting chance. Now, for the men's island, they didn't do a motherfucking thing. They just dropped them off there. That was it. By the time the third day come up on this episode, the men had done established fire, established campsites, and made their way around to a pretty nice beach on the island. Meanwhile, the women have gotten separated, gotten lost, almost died multiple times, does not have a fire yet, and does not have a campsite. They're getting rained on and they're getting sick. What does this prove? In fact, they actually canceled this series due to the fact that it proved this so much, and the left did not like it. It proves that women do need men. It proves that they cannot survive without us. If we was to Thanos snap all the inventions that men created and maintained and built away, and Thanos snapped all the men off the face of the planet, it'd take about 30 days for every woman in the world to die. Now, you can rewind that back 10 seconds. It'd take women throughout 30 days before they would die. Either through starvation, exposure, or something, they would die. Or they'd be well on their way to death. So, why am I making this point? If we're raising our women to believe that they're queens, which that's cool by me. But if we're raising our women to believe that they actually do not need us, what does this create? This creates a grown woman who's going to enter into the dating world and have zero respect for men. Her expectations are going to be way up here. Even though her reality is right here, her expectations are way up here. So the man needs to be here, but her value as a woman is down here. So these types of women, they don't want to work after they get pregnant, but they also don't want to be a wife either. What is a wife? A wife is someone who can keep their man happy. A wife is someone who can keep their man at home. By what I mean by keep their man at home, he don't go pursuing other bitches and trying to fuck them. He fucks his wife. So what does that require out of you as a wife? That requires you to be fit and beautiful. So don't no man want a woman that weighs more than him. If he did, he'd be screwing a man. And it requires you to have basic family values as a woman. Now, us men, anytime we get to dating, women expect us to pay for everything. And if you ask a woman to pay for half the date, or go Dutch, or whatever you want to do, or pay for the date, you're not going to have another date. It's going to end right there, and they're going to view you as a loser. But yet, they're sitting there being a loser themselves and requiring you to pay for everything. while they're also telling you you have to wait for sex. So you have to financially provide and then get nothing out of it. This is a problem because any man who knows what he wants and is a high value man, they know what they want. They go after what they want and they make it happen. It don't take them 6 to 8 months. I'm going to clue you in on something, honey. If you're a girl and you're watching this, if your boyfriend or your fiance, let's say fiance because that's what he is. He's not a boyfriend. He is a fiance. If your fiance has been engaged to you for longer than 6 months, because that's how long it takes for an average marriage to get processed and to be done. 6 months. If it takes your man longer than 6 to 8 months to wed you, he don't plan on marrying you. You're not wife material. Guys, I'm here for y'all. I'm spitting out of my mouth what you don't want to spit out of your mouth. You want to, but yet you don't want to be clowned and hackled and abused publicly or shamed publicly for having these views. I'm married. I don't care. I just think it's about time that we call women out on their bullshit. You gonna sit here and let's go through the actions of a modern day woman. You're gonna sit here. You're gonna have hot girl summer. You're gonna have girls' night outs. You're gonna go out and party and have fun. You're not gonna work out. You're not gonna take care of yourself. You're gonna wind up with 2 to 3 kids by the time you're 35. So the average woman is 5'8" and below, and y'all, the average weight is 140 plus, dress size 6 plus. You weigh as much as, if not more than, a grown-ass man at your height. But yet, your expectations are, man, are way up here, and you expect them to settle for you. But yet, you're saying that you don't want to settle for him? Girlie, he's settling for you. You women got to understand, y'all control access to sex. That's all y'all control access to. Us men control access to marriage. We don't have to buy you a ring if we don't want to. We don't have to marry you if we don't want to. But you women are perfectly fine with acting like, with your actions showing that you're a side chick, but yet you want to be wifed up. This is the reason why whenever you're 32 years old, you've done slept with 8 to 10 different men. Your body count is higher than most men that you know. You have multiple kids by multiple daddies. So if this man does come into your life, he's not only going to not be able to have kids, and if he is able to have kids, he's only allowed to have 1 or 2, and then he has to split his income. So if he has $800 and he wants to spend money on his 2 kids, he has to split the money that he would spend on his 2 kids with your kids. Because you would be offended if he bought his child something and didn't buy your kid nothing. So his child, because of you, is only allowed to get half because of someone else's kids. And for you women who are saying, he's my husband, he should want to provide. Okay, is your baby daddy going to buy your husband's kid a gift? See, your baby daddy ain't going to get your husband's kid nothing. He ain't going to do shit. But yet you have different expectations of the stepdaddy than you do the baby daddy. Your expectations are higher for the stepdaddy than it is the baby daddy. See, this is a problem with us men. Because the issue with dating a woman with children is you're coming into an environment where you're never going to be accepted. You're never going to be permanently attached to those children. Your your attachment depends solely on the woman's reaction and their commitment. If y'all break up, she can say she don't want you seeing that kid at all, and you can't do nothing about it. So it was a financial waste for you to buy anything for the fucking kid, provide anything for the fucking kid. And you better not try to discipline that child, because that child ain't yours. See, this is the trump card that females can pull whenever you're getting with them and they have kids. This is why I strongly caution any single man who don't have children, not to date women with children, because it's chaos. There's always chaos in the house whenever it comes to having kids that ain't yours, because those kids naturally buck the system. Kids will naturally try to figure out where they fit in this world. So they're naturally going to go against what you say. But as a stepfather, you are not allowed, even legally, you are not allowed to get these kids to follow your rules. But yet, whenever it comes to buying shit, you're allowed to invest your entire wallet on the kids, no problem. Don't see an issue with this? This is the reason why marriage divorce rate has went up to 79%. Because of women. It's women who are ending these marriages. It's not men. And they'll sit there and say, well, that's not all women. Don't nobody care about you. We care about the majority. What 9 times out of 10 is going to happen. Because that's more than often than not. That's what happens. And whenever you get a divorce, they take half your shit. Men, I strongly urge you to start vetting these women. Start checking their red flags. If these women are partiers, you don't want them. If a woman can chug liquor and it not faze her, you don't want her. If a woman has multiple kids, you don't want her. Do not waste your time. Don't waste your money. I often ask females, what do you have to offer in a relationship? You know what a lot of them will say? Well, I got my own career. I'm a good woman. Ma'am, we don't care about your career. We don't care about your money. Unless you have a hobosexual, we don't give a shit. A hobosexual is a man who sleeps with you to secure a place to live. They're more often than not, they're poor. We don't care about your money, because your money ain't going to be used to pay no bills. Not no bills of no significant value. You'll have women who will sit there and say, well, I do special things for my husband. Like, I'll buy him a gift every once in a while. Like, okay, when's the last time you bought a gift? Oh, it was his birthday. How much was it? A couple $100. What's up, man? Like, Trick, we spend more on that going out to eat. I want you to, let's just make an example of the financial burden for men. Let's say you've got 2 kids. So it's your wife, it's your girlfriend, 2 kids, and you. That's 4 people. I say, let's do cheap. Somewhere as cheap as I can think of. Let's say y'all go to McDonald's to eat. You all get a meal. That's about $7 a piece plus $2 for drinks. That's $10 a meal. It's going to be about $45 and some change plus taxes. That's $50. So that's a half a bill for McDonald's. Now you're eating 3 times a day. So if that's a half a bill for McDonald's, that's $150 a day. Oh yeah, what's 150 times 7? That's just 1 week. And women want to talk about their little money, about their little 15 to 25K a year job or side hustle that they be doing, cutting hair. All that's a joke. It's all a joke. Women, y'all want to become high demand women? Y'all want to be something that men of value really, really look for? Take a home economics class. Take a class on how to be an obedient wife. Take a class on how to clean your house. Take a class on how to how to serve your husband. Take a class on what you can do to make your husband's life better. Take a class on that shit. Then you'll be in demand. Anything else we don't care about, because it ain't gonna help us. What does one simple thing that all of us high value men have in common? And I just said all of us high value men because I do make them above 50,000 a year. So technically it would be high value, even though I don't see myself as high value. Because to me, high value means, yeah, you're rich, bro. You got $1 million in the bank. To me, that's high value. But the average man makes $45K a year. I make above that, so technically I would be high value, even though I consider myself average. But one thing that these high value men all have in common, they are focused. They're laser focused on what they want, and they know exactly what the fuck they want. The fact that these women carry in the sentimentality that, oh, well, I can change a man, that's a loser's thought. You can change a loser, someone who's been to prison most of their life or some shit like that. You can change that kind of man. You're not changing a CEO of an organization. You're not changing a man who makes $100K a year. You're not doing it. I'm sorry. I know you think you're special, but your vagina doesn't spit gold, honey. It just don't. But I hope y'all enjoyed this episode of Sticks and Politics, and I hope we can do better, y'all. For all my straight single men out there, my hit squad, my highly intelligent, trained men, get what you doing, y'all. Keep it up. Raise up your standards, because these women are not meeting it. We got to do better. Sticks and Politics out.